our bank's database, and inside the database we have got many different tables such as account tables, branch tables, and so on. First of all, we will observe our account table. For that, select everything from account table, and then we can see this is the account table. Similarly, we can observe the branch table, and this is the branch table. We will also check the structure of the table. And how can we check it? Using the schema. Using the schema command, we can see the structure of the table, and which table we want to see the structure of account table, and then simply we can see that the account table has the column account number, branch name, and balance. We can see that there are no primary or foreign key assigned. In the account table, the data sets are not well managed, and look at that, account number, branch name, and even balance are text. From the branch table with assets more than 5 lakhs, and we can simply use the select command. Select branch name from branch table where assets, specific assets column is greater than or equal to 5 lakhs, and if we press enter, then we can see that the downtown, Round Hill, and Brighton are the branch name with assets greater than or equal to 5 lakhs. But you can see that Redwood is also there with the assets greater than 5 lakhs. Why is this happening? Because the assets are not integer in this case, it is just a text, so the comparison is illogical in this case. Now we will try the nested query. Before that, we will observe the account table and the depositor table. And how can we observe it? We can use the select command again. Select everything from account, and then we can see a table with the column account number, branch name, and balance. And again we will use the same query. Select everything from depositor table, and you can see there are customer name and account number. As you can see, there is a common column in the account table and depositor table, and it is the account number. So we can use this account number to create a nested query. Now we will use the nested query to find the customer name from the account number, and for that we will use the nested query. And the query was like this. It's customer name from depositor table where account number in, and you can see the parenthesis. This indicates the nested query where account number in, and then we can simply get the account number from this query. Select account number from what account, okay, where branch name is equal to, we'll use both of it, downtown, downtown, and we can use the end. You know the logic behind the end, right? If we use and, both of these conditions should be true. We are searching for the account number from account with the branch name downtown and balance 500. That is, only if both of them are matched, then we will get the account number. And here we can see that the account number, branch name and balance with downtown in 500 has the account number 101. And we will see if our nested query works right here and right now. And this is the nested query, balance 500, and then we can simply close the parenthesis and we will use the semicolon and we will get the customer name, the Johnson and Hayes, and you can see the customer name with the account number 101 is simply Johnson and Hayes. Hence our nested query works. Since we have got the same account number in both of these tables, what we can do is simply join these tables. To join these tables and get the results of the final table, we can simply select it again, select, and this time we don't want this redundancy account numbers in both these cases. Hence we will choose the column name, branch name, and then there is balance, and then there is customer name, and from where? From account table. And we will understand why it is from the account table. Select branch name, balance, customer name from account table, and then we will simply join it again. Join what? What to join? The depositor table, right? Depositor table on. Now we will simply access the column name. Depositor on. How can we access this? Keys account number dot depositor number. That's how we can join the table. Okay, there is an error. It's not depositor number, it's simply the account number. There is a syntax error actually, and we have to write from the start. Yeah, this is good to go, and then we will again simply correct it. And it's not a deposit number actually, it's an account number. And then if we press enter, then you can see that the branch name, balance, and customer names are there. The table, after combining, since the depositor table is combined to the account table, the final table we get is also an account table. This is quite confusing to hear, but that's the correct way to remember it. Since we are trying to join the depositor and customer tables, the depositor tables have actually 9 rows. You can simply join this table using the select command. Remove the redundancy, that is the customer name, and we will establish the relationship between them. And how can we do that? Account number is what we need. Account number is what we need. Customer street is what we need. And then finally customer city is what we need. As we know, depositor table. And then what we are going to do? We are going to join the customer on depositor this time. And if we join this right here and press enter, we can see the table. And the table is quite messy. As you can see in the screen, there are actually 2 tables, but the first table is a joint table and the second table is a different table, but there are 2 tables in the first. As you can see that the up to balance, account number, branch name and balance is related to the account table, and customer name and account number is related to the depositor table. Why are you doing this? We are trying to fit the tables on the screen. Actually, the three tables on the screen, that's why I joined the first two tables. Now we are going to perform the machine nested query here. And how can we do that? We can simply, again, here we are going to figure out the customer city using the nested query. And how can we do that? We are going to find out the customer city. That's why it's select customer city from the customer table. We are not going to change it. That's why it's simply the customer table, and then where customer name is provided from the next nested query in, and we can simply press the enter and we will go for the next nested query. The next query is simply select need the customer name. That's why we'll go for the customer name from where this is simply depositor table, depositor. Now the account number is given by the next query actually, where account number equal to, what we can do, we can simply use another parenthesis and wait for the next query, and the next query is simply selecting the account number, because we require the account number. In this case, account number from this table is account, and we are going to put some conditions, that is branch name is equal to, what is it, let's go for the downtown, and let's go for the balance is equal to what, it's 500. Okay, the balance is 500, and then this is the nested query, and then we can simply close the query, the parenthesis, the next parenthesis, and then the semicolon, and hence we finish the query and we got the result addition in Palo Alto. And this is from the account table. The account table provides the account number. The account number that corresponds to the branch name downtown and balance 500, and similarly we get the customer name from depositor table, whose account number is the account number provided by the account table, and in the similar way the customer name is given by the depositor table, and in the same manner we get the customer city as Harrison in Palo Alto. Select what we require, the customer city from account, not exactly account, depositor, or even customer. Now what we can do, we can simply associate them using their keys, account dot account number equal to depositor dot account number. Now and not where again, okay, it's and it's simply depositor dot customer name is equal to, what is it, customer dot customer name, and then finally the condition using the end statement, and what is required, the branch name. Okay, it shouldn't be an ambiguous case or else it will be error. You should remember that it shouldn't be in both table, actually, like account number which is in both account and depositor tables. In such cases the ambiguous case arises and it's an error. Down and and we can simply use end balance again. Balance is equal to 500 actually, and if we just try to run this query, we can get the same answer, that is Palo Alto and addition. Where account number, and in the similar way as join, we are just associating the primary and foreign keys similar manner, and you is a small topic left known as indexing. Now we will go for it. Timer, and we will simply turn on the timer, and this statement we can see that the real time is 0.000373. There is index and there is index name, okay, count number and then index again, account number index on what, on account table, on the column we are also mentioning the column, and the column is simply account number again. And if we execute this query, now we can simply execute the query, previous query again, and if we execute this query, you can see that the real time has decreases from 373 to 205 just by creating an index. We decreases the time from 373 to 205. That's the magic of the indexing. That's all you need to know for now.